What's going on, family? It's your boy UTX the Prophecy, and I'm giving you guys my over review of Bethesda's E3 presentation from yesterday. So, I kind of came into this with a little bit of the expectations because of last year. Bethesda killed it with the Fallout 4, obviously, announcement. So, that was really huge. I just was rumored there was just rumors that they were going to be showing some new IPs and things of that nature, and they didn't really do any of that. It was kind of more or less a snooze fest. I was very disappointed in Bethesda and EA for that matter. So far, the E3 just is turning into a very bad one. I'm hoping that Microsoft and Sony can save it, but one of the best things that Bethesda definitely showed was Skyrim, right? So I'm a huge fan of Skyrim, and as you see, it's Elder Scrolls in the background. Um, Skyrim is really fun to me. It's one of those games where you can put 1,800 plus hours in, just doing missions and go crazy in the game itself. So I was a fan of it, and I've actually been wanting to play it again. Mind you, my PC's not good enough, so I haven't been able to run it, obviously. So I was hoping that they were going to bring it on PS4. Again, we mentioned this as a rumor on GMG. Come to find out, they did. This was the best thing to me that Bethesda showed. There was no gameplay again. It was more or less showing you what they did and how they changed it from last year, last gen, which was like 10 years ago, to now. And one of the best things that they announced that if you have the legendary edition of Skyrim on PC, you get the game for free. While the consoles, of course, are going to have to pay $60. But one of the another things that they showed is Fallout 4 added mods. They're doing mods in this as well. So it'll be really interesting to see some of the mods that people create that we can add and do. So I'm actually looking forward to this game right here. All right, next on the list we have Prey. Prey is another good game that came out on 360 and PS3. We again kind of said that this is a possibility that it might be there on GMG, and come to find out, it is. So it was no gameplay, of course, more or less just a cinematic trailer. So it's really not enough to get anyone hyped unless you're already hyped about the game itself, like the past one. So I guess for the people that really enjoyed Prey, this is crazy news, crazy spectacular news that you're gonna probably pick this up day one. Of course, I am a fan of Prey, so I will definitely get it. But again, Bethesda, they didn't show no gameplay. The only real gameplay they showed was Dishonored 2, which I'll be showing later and talking about that a little bit more later on. But for right now, Prey, it also looked pretty decent, but we're getting kind of tired of these cinematic trailers, B. I mean, honestly, let's just change it to cinematic trailers. All right, like that's really what this whole E3 has really all been about. Is cinematic three. The next game on the list that Bethesda showed was Quake. Right, I think this kind of caught people by surprise, or at least it definitely caught me by surprise because I'm not well endowed with Quake. I don't really know anything about Quake, so I'm definitely going to be honest with you and say I'm a noob at this game. I don't know anything about it, but it seemed kind of interesting to a certain extent. I'm sure there's a bunch of Quake fans. My perfect example, I was into Unreal Tournament. So I don't know if this is quite similar to Unreal Tournament or if it's near, the same thing, or if it's completely different. But the game also looked, pretty decent. Again, like that's the kind of common synopsis of this whole thing. There's games that looked decent and games that looked good, but it was just like, bro, we didn't get no real gameplay, so I can't really justify wanting to buy any of these games nor be really excited. Like, we didn't get to actually get E3 like so far. So in all honesty, what I think is going to happen, we tend to notice that when it comes to E3, at least in the past, people always get mad at this subject specifically, but when Microsoft and Sony tend to go, they generally show mostly multi-plats, which is obviously multi-platforms. They don't have too many, extravagant exclusives that they always debut. I feel like with a lot of these games that are being shown with EA as well as Bethesda, we're gonna get these gameplay shown during Microsoft and Sony's conference. So I think what we're really fiending for through EA and Bethesda was gameplay. Now, as you see on the screen now, it's Dishonored. Dishonored is another game that I don't know much about. I never played the first one. It's actually a game that I've always wanted to play because I'm really big into stealth games. And it just, when this game came out on Xbox 360 and PS3, I was so flustered with so many games that I didn't get a chance to play this game. But we actually have our first, gameplay. Now, this is like almost through two different conferences now. So you got EA and then you got Bethesda. This is really the first real gameplay that we've seen throughout both conferences. And it's like, why did it take so long to get to this? So obviously I'm excited because I'm like, okay, now we get to see gameplay. Let's see what this game is about. Is this a buy for me? Who knows? I noticed that there's a lot of abilities and powers and stuff like that. So I actually chopped up a lot of the gameplay so you guys can see some of the different things. The game itself looked pretty good. I don't like to do the whole graphic thing, but graphically it looked pretty good. The frames were dropping a lot. But ultimately, I thought the game itself looked pretty good. So this is my E3, whatever you want to call it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be doing another one later on tomorrow with Microsoft, Sony. I'll be releasing a few videos. My Motivational Monday will most definitely go up as well. But hold on. One of the best parts about this whole gameplay, I want to point out, this dude is using like his ability and it's like in a different dimension and he's like killing people and he's going in different dimensions. This was actually kind of fire. I'm not gonna lie. This is actually kind of fire. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Holla at your boy. Leave a comment. Tell me what you thought about Bethesda's event as well as EA's.